Morning all. How's everybody doing this morning? Hopefully your YouTube ad targeting was better than mine this morning. Decided that it thought I need some hair regrowth products. Don't think I've got any bald patches, but I will check. Anyway. I love YouTube algorithms. Someone's obviously been poking around my PC looking for hair loss products. Certainly not me, put it that way. Okay, so how's everybody doing this morning? All good? Big day today. We've got non-farm payroll. So had a good day yesterday. 3% banked, which is lovely. Great week. Great start to the month. 2.5% is my normal weekly target. A lot of that's come out of S&P and NASDAQ, obviously. But yeah, good week so far. So on for a 20% month. See what happens. Anyways, first week of January, so anything can happen. Positions I've got open at the moment are Euro Swiss and Euro New Zealand. They're the only two FX positions I've got open. Obviously, my S&P and NAS are running. Yeah, Euro Swiss and Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand's having a little bit more of a push. So we have pushed up to this nice high. But obviously it's just starting to retrace back in again at the moment. So we've not really done much of a profit take on this one. We should at least get down to this wick, I would imagine. But we'll see. I've got another pending order at the highs. And I've also got the EA running on it as well. So the EA will be getting me into additional positions. And Euro Swiss. So still pushing hard, Euro Swiss. So all these euros are doing well. Euro Swissy's just tapped over the 24. It's the first time we've had a 24 break since September last year, sort of start of October. So yeah, we had a tap into the MA there, a tap into the MA there, and now we've actually managed to, we haven't closed above it obviously, but well, we have just about closed above it. But obviously today we'll see what happens. We could have a nice drop on it today, non-farm. Morning Richard, morning Andy. So yeah, so that's all I've got on at the minute. And we'll have a look at some opportunities. But today is non-farm. So this afternoon, 1:30, we have got Canadian dollar employment change and unemployment rate. And then we've got non-farm payroll landing at the same time. So this afternoon we'll have a decent amount of movement. Big volatility in the market. We'll see if all these moves they've been putting in this week are setting up for reversals, which is quite often the case with non-farm. But we've been quite choppy on the Dixie this week. So as you can see, we're still in this huge range at the moment, which we have been in since December. Basically, the whole of December has just been in a whacking great range. And we're still in there. So if you look at the hourly, so we can see the daily charts. Obviously, Monday was here. Monday was the bank holiday. We gapped up, didn't fill, and pushed hard away. Tuesday pulled back a bit. Wednesday pulled back down. Then we had FOMC, which pushed it back up again. Retracement yesterday. We're not going anywhere. So sitting at the moment in a symmetrical triangle pattern, contracting, which is what I suspect we are going to do for the London session. And then we're going to break out of this triangle at some point today on the Dixie. So that's what we've got to watch out for today. So any of you that got the symmetrical triangle patterns indicator, got a nice one forming at the minute. Richard, how does pips appear on in the chart? Sorry, I don't understand the question. How does pips appear in the chart? What do you mean by that? Just clarify what you mean by that. Not quite sure I understand. So that's where we are today. London, we'll see what happens, but quite often non-farm, we have a flat London session because the market is just going to go into accumulation, ready to be moved at non-farm. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just get flat price action today. Not much opportunity to do anything. SPY yesterday, we had no movement. We had a rotational day. which I made some nice little profit on. So I took a trade in the Asian session. One of the EA got me into a trade in the Asian session, which I actually, that was a pending I had in the Asian session, which I took out at the highs as we took out the highs of London and Asia. And then we just basically, for New York, we just went into rotation. So big accumulation at the moment, quite possibly push back down to the lows again today and then rotate back up in London. So if we do get down to here, I'll probably put another position on. In fact, I'm going to put a pending down there now. So if we do come down and test the lows, I'll get into another one. NAS. On the NAS, we did the same. Obviously, I had rotation. Have I got any pendings down there? Let's stick a pending down there. Just see what I've got. I think I've got a pending sitting at the 7. Oh yeah, those lows. Yeah, I'm going to stick another pending down there. So if we come down and challenge the lows today, I'll stick another pending on. I'm not sure we're going to get down there today. I don't think we're going to get enough movement. But London's opening fairly weak at the moment, so there's some decent movement going on. What they'll quite possibly do is come and take liquidity down here, ready for a move this afternoon. Gillingham Farm. So, Richard, I mean, the status appeared in the upper right of the chart. The spread, you mean? That what you're talking about, the spread? That's just an indicator. Just Google spread indicator. There's hundreds of them out there. So, yeah, just spread. If that's what you mean. If that's not what you mean, let me know. Right, so where are we today? ADRs, nothing. We haven't had anything hit. We got weekly ranges already hit. Andrew, no, I don't trade crypto. We can ignore these, obviously, weekly ranges. The only time I really look at the weekly ranges is if we hit them on Mondays or Tuesdays. Because if you've hit your weekly range high, your average weekly range high, early week, quite often you'll get a pullback or a retracement from it. Monthlies, we obviously keep an eye on at any time up to 2 weeks. If we hit the monthly ranges very quickly as well, again, the same principle applies. If we hit a monthly range, either high or low, we tend to get a pullback or a retracement. So there's nothing to look at on ADRs at all today. It might be quite a quick session today. So yeah, nothing to look at there at all. From H4 RSI extension perspective, we're pretty much similar to where we have been most of the week. We've got stuff that's still pushing. Richard, is it free in your indicator? It's nothing to do with my indicators at all. This is just a spread indicator. It's called spread. I don't know, just Google it. So there are hundreds of free spread indicators out there. If you want that. If you want to see the spread at any time, it's in here. Yeah, the spread's there. But it's just a free spread indicator. I wouldn't pay. Go and find one. There's loads. I can put it in the group if you want. If you're in the Telegram group, if you're not in the Telegram group, go in the Telegram group and I can put it in there for you if you want it. But Google it, spread indicator, MT4. You find loads of them. So Aussie dollar CAD, still pushing. So we've had this big move down. We are very extended. We got extended in the week. We are still massively extended. So we've had no pullback on this move whatsoever yet. We've had a little accumulation phase and we've started a new down move. So we are really, really nicely extended Aussie dollar CAD. This is looking more and more attractive at the moment to get in for a long on it. Looking at the levels on it, this area here, just zoom out a little bit. There's not really any easy to spot support in the area that we're sitting at the minute, because all we've done is we've had a big accumulation balance area there, and this is where we've hit this bit of chop. So anywhere around here is potentially going to find some buying power. if we crack through all of this and it's got enough power to push back down through, this is obviously where we're going to hit the first load of buying pressure. So any kind of drop back down into here will be absolutely lovely. If we are going to continue to push down there, we're going to be massively extended, like towards this level down here on the RSI. When we've had a strong sustained move like that, you will typically get the same kind of power move back in the opposite direction. So if this can continue to push down into this area, it's going to give a really, really nice retracement. We've got this massive propulsion candle up here, which left a nice gap in the market as well. So this is potentially what we may look at. So it's going to be one of those two things is going to happen. Where we are at the moment, we're right in the middle, and we are hitting this chop. So it's a difficult one to call as to whether to get in now or whether to try and wait. But we've got Canadian dollar news this afternoon, obviously. So there's going to be a catalyst this afternoon that could well start this move. If the unemployment change comes out negative, obviously that's going to be bad for the CAD, which is going to propel the Aussie CAD long. Hourly chart, we're embedded. So it's just looking really, really good for a long opportunity at the moment. We haven't had a reversal alert on it today on M15. So it's just looking really, really nice. So what I'm probably going to do is set the EA up just to monitor this one and get me into an initial position on it. As far as the Aussie and the CAD are concerned, I've got no exposure whatsoever at the moment. So it's a nice looking opportunity. Neither of these are positive or negative. COT, they're both biased short on the COT, so there's no directional bias to play on this one. Just pure price action, and this level here is a decent level where we've found good support. If you look at this a little bit more detailed, we've got this level here, which has been very supportive in the past. We broke through it, and then we didn't want to get back through it. We came back up, touched it again, broke through it, came back down. So it's a strong level we're sitting at. It's a strong support resistance, but it's a really choppy one as well. It's just a rough area where the market was very happy to transact for quite a long period of time. So it's quite possible we could move just into another accumulation phase here, which could potentially push it down. But obviously we've got a news catalyst this afternoon. So one of two things is going to happen on it this afternoon. News catalyst is either going to drive it down on positive CAD news or up on negative CAD news. So either way, if you get in here ahead of the news, you're just going to get a one-shot trade, and you're just going to get in and get out. If the CAD news is positive, it's going to drive this down back into this buy zone where we're going to meet a load of buyers and probably get the reversal from there. And obviously, if that happens, this thing's going to be absolutely exhausted and have no option but to profit take. So looks like a really good opportunity for a long Aussie CAD. So I'm going to stick the EA on that and get that to start taking trades for me. So I'm going to go longs. Okay, so that's basically, whoops, if I turn the EA on, it will. So that's basically going to start. I'm going in on M5 on it because it is so extended. So EA set up. We'll just take the next reversal alert and get me in longs on that one. Aussie dollar CAD. CAD Swiss is nicely extended and rolled over. Beautiful 3-bar reversal. This is my absolute favorite chart pattern. 3-bar reversal, strong push, doji, strong rejection. If you get this kind of like equal pattern as well, it's just such a strong pattern. But it doesn't mean necessarily we're going to get a strong reversal. What it means is there's a high likelihood of momentum taking price back down again and a big strong move. We've got this massive propulsion candle here, which quite possibly there's going to be a lot of buying pressure in here to push price back up. So again, CAD news ahead, but this is not my favorite one. It's a lovely reversal from a trend perspective, but obviously being the first week back, it's difficult to get any real directional bias on it. So if we get negative CAD news, obviously this will probably push up higher. Positive CAD news is going to push higher. Negative CAD news, we're going to come down. So it looks good, and it also lines up with the Aussie dollar CAD trade perspective as well. So we're not extended on the hourly. 4 hourly we are just about, but we're just coming out of it now. So it's a very weak sort of trade, that one. There's better ones out there at the moment. Pound odd, massively extended. We're just getting up into an area of interest, which I've put on the chart. So remember yesterday we looked at this one. We had this high here, double top, sort of kind of a really uneven looking kind of head and shoulders pattern. So yeah, we got this level of interest there, and this level of interest here, which is both good resistive levels. We hit this spot on and bounced off of it last time, and this time we have cracked it. So this whole area here is potentially where we're going to start to see some kind of selling pressure coming in. We did get extended. We didn't really get much of a move off the back of it, and then we had this huge, big, strong push to the upside, and we are now really extended again. As you can see, when you get RSI peaks that don't work and go into accumulation, you tend to then get more strength pushing price higher, and at some point you get the elevator shaft. So we've had the initial extension where we went into an accumulation. We're now pushing up into the second extension of RSI. So we're either going to get a sort of drop and then third peak and then a big drop, or we're just going to drop from here. So it's a good spot to start looking for entries. We're really, really extended on this one. It's really strong at the moment though, still. So we are just taking out liquidity at these highs at the minute, but it's quite old. We're going back to sort of beginning of December here, and obviously we just had this huge Christmas consolidation. So pound is a short as far as cotton is concerned. Aussie dollar is also a short. But it looks really nice. It's beautifully embedded on the hourly as well. There's just real strong buying pressure at the moment, and there's not been any profit taking really done on this at all. So we are due a profit take move on this at some point. So again, it's another nice one to look at. If you get a reversal alert up here, potentially you could use a stop on it. We're approaching ADR high as well. So if we hit ADR on this one today, you know, it's just showing really good signs of exhaustion. So we should see a pullback. Whether it's going to continue to the upside or not, don't know. It could well just continue going after a pullback. But at some point, we are going to get that mean reversion in here. It's a big move we've got, and a big strong propulsion move there with no profit taking on it. So we will get one at some point. Beautiful big gaps to target as well, where we've had nothing but buying coming in. So it looks really good for short opportunities. So obviously with what I've just sort of set up for longs on the Aussie dollar CAD, I'm already long Aussie dollar. I will be long Aussie dollar when that one triggers. So going into this one, I'll be shorting pound odd, which is long odd again. So I can take this one, and it is very extended. We've got quite a few pound pairs extended at the moment. The pound is on a rally, so we'll have a look at all of those and then sort of take a decision on what looks the best at the moment. Pound Swiss, again, big strong push. I'm already on Euro Swiss short, so I wouldn't take this one because I'm already on the Euro Swiss. Pound Swiss, very similar. So again, embedded on the 4 hour. This one has been very orderly in its movement. So you can see it's not really left any big sort of propulsion gaps open. This one here got retested twice, but we have just pulled up into this sort of selling area up here. So we're above the 24 and 72 moving averages. So we are breaking out into new high territory for the pound where we haven't been for a while. Highs, we've got support and resistance zone here. So this area of support, which is nice and strong, and then this is the resistive area we got to previously. So this area here is potentially where we are heading. Whether it can get there in the next couple of days, we don't know. If it does get there in the next couple of days, this is going to be embedded and extended, and obviously ready for a massive profit take move at some point. So difficult one to call, this one. It's not my favourite personally at the moment because I'm already short on Euro Swiss. I'd rather be short on the Euro than I would on the pound. But another opportunity to take if you want to there as well. So that's basically the play on it. If you get into it now on the next reversal alert, every chance this thing could come down and you have a decent either pullback and move, or it will be the start of a down move on it. The Swiss franc is what will be in control of it. The reason that the Euro Swiss is going into drawdown a bit at the moment is because the Swissy is so weak. So when you have a weak Swissy, there's nothing you can do about it. But when they pile money into the Swissy, it really will power up. And then obviously everything will come down against it. Nothing beats the Swissy when they want to power the Swissy up. So yeah, that's the play on it basically. You can either get in there as a short. If it does continue to push, there's your second entry, and at some point you'll get a big enough pullback to get out of both of those positions fairly easily. So that's pound Swiss. The other one was pound New Zealand, which is extended, I believe. Yeah. So again, pound New Zealand, pound odd, same thing. Trade one or the other. Don't trade both. These are both looking really, really good as well. We've tapped up into the RSI. You can see how strong it's been. It's been very grindy and strong. We've just kind of accelerated away and going into a consolidation at the moment. If you look at the area we are at the moment, it's very obvious where we are. We are at a very strong resistance from previous times. Basically, it's big round number 2. Give or take. Yeah, it's never exact. When the market is moving, institutions don't go take it up 370 pips. They go take it up to 2 and drop it. Yeah. So they use round numbers, and this is why round numbers work so well, because the market says go long and long it up to 1.5 and then drop it. Yeah. That's why round numbers work, because it's so easy for the market to say actually take it to this level than it is to say take it to a fraction of a level. Yeah. And obviously we all look at these and they become self-fulfilling prophecies because we also react at them. So the whole market reacts at round numbers, and it always has done. So this is a key level. We are either going to hit this and collapse, i.e., have a really strong rejection from it, or this is going to be the point that we break it. Nobody knows. If we do break it, there's a few levels which are not too far away that we can also look at. So it's not a bad looking opportunity to get in short on this one at the moment. There's a lot of people going to be eyeing this one up for shorts. So if it does start to move, I think we'll probably get a bit of a snowball effect on it. We're really far extended away from the 72 as well, as you can see. So entries would be there, and there for 3 entries short. If we do scream all the way up to there, we are like on the daily chart. When you get up to here on the daily chart, it does not last long. Okay, so we are massively extended on this. So it's a really, really good opportunity, the pound New Zealand, I think, at the moment for a short. So again, of all the pounds, I think this is my favourite purely on a technical basis and support resistance, supply demand, whatever you want to call it. Up here, there's selling pressure. So this would be my kind of favourite of the 3, I think, at the moment. We are in an accumulation at the minute. We have been since New York. We've been sitting sideways. Beautiful stop hunt just gone in, actually, on this. Looking really heavy. So, yeah, pound New Zealand is going to be my short, I think. Shorts only. Okay, so I'm going to get in on the next M5 reversal on that one. So yeah, looks good. You can wait for M15 if you want. I just really like it, so I'm going to get in on M5. I've set the EA to spread out my positions at a minimum of half an ADR apart. So I'll be getting in gradually, and if necessary, I'll move up a time frame. But I think this one's so exhausted. and the fact that it's embedded up here. You see the when we get an accumulation phase, when the market is going sideways for any reason, what tends to happen is the RSI usually will drop. Yeah, so it's showing the strength is returning to the mean. As you can see here, we've been accumulating and we are not dropping. So there's still a lot of strength in the market. So there's a lot of buying pressure coming in here. There's a lot of buyers entering the market and they're not getting anywhere, which tells me there's a lot of selling pressure, more selling pressure than buying, because we're embedded on the stochastic, on the RSI, and it's not coming down and market is not moving. So it looks really, really heavy. But you know, anything can happen. It can pop. If it does pop, obviously I'll be getting in somewhere up there. In fact, I'll be getting in somewhere around there probably, and then again up there. If we can get all the way up to there, you know, we're going to be massively long-term embedded up there, and at some point the elevator shaft is going to kick in. This thing's coming down. So yeah, nice one, pound New Zealand on the 4 hour. Obviously, our RSI is not extended on the hourly at the moment, but it has been. So really good looking opportunity there. And New Zealand dollar CAD. Again, this one looks really, really nice. Obviously, by shorting pound New Zealand, I'm going long on New Zealand. With the Aussie dollar CAD, I'm going direct. I've got a directional bias, obviously, on Aussie dollar CAD when I get into that one as well. So this is, I can't take this one because I'll just be overexposing myself. But this is a beautiful gap fill we've got going in at the moment. So with this big propulsion candle, lots and lots of buying pressure. We've tapped into it with like four big 4 hour candles on the way down, massively extended, and now we're just sitting there with buying pressure building up. Lots of buying pressure, lots of wicks, green candles. It looks to me like it's just ready to pop. Obviously, if you're going to get into this one, you ignore the Aussie dollar CAD. So with the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar, pick one or the other to trade. Don't trade both at the same time. If you're trading Aussie dollar CAD as a long and you're trading New Zealand dollar CAD as a long, you're basically entering the same position twice, so you're doubling your exposure. So just pick one or the other. Aussie dollar CAD is more extended at the moment than New Zealand dollar CAD, not by a lot, but it's the same play basically. So pick one or the other for a long. So that's all the H4s. Hourlies, Aussie dollar CAD. Again, another reason to take Aussie dollar CAD over New Zealand dollar CAD. We've been extended on the hourly as well, which is obviously a sign of more exhaustion and more likely a push. I'll look at targets on this once the trade starts to play out. I'll have a look at some areas to potentially get out of it. But I'm hoping we're just going to get negative news on the CAD and this thing's just going to pop. So I don't really want to take it. The EA is set up to take 1% profit or half an ADR, whichever comes first. So probably be half an ADR if we're getting with one shot. Pound odd is also extended. Obviously, we've looked at this one already on the 4 hour. So yeah, good looking opportunity for a short. But I've chosen the pound New Zealand over the pound odd. So that's everything we've got set up this morning. Obviously, no ADRs yet. We haven't got anywhere. As such, is anything getting close? Aussie New Zealand's getting close. So potentially Aussie New Zealand is going to hit ADR. Euro odd. Pound odd, we just got an RSI alert on as well. And Euro odd. Yes, pound odd's just alerted. Pound odd has just got up to 75 as well as odd CAD. And Euro odd. Where are we? Yes, just taking out yesterday's high there at the moment. So potentially on lower time frame, that could be a nice. It's a bit far away, that entry, but yeah. So RSI's pound odd is obviously getting close as well to RSI to ADR high. So yeah, it's a few to keep an eye on. We might get some hits today in London. But for London today, a lot of the time, we will get a consolidation ahead of non-farm payroll. The market doesn't want to move a lot of the time. If you do see reaches for highs of Asia or yesterday's highs, and then strong pullbacks, that's quite possibly a liquidity grab before a move on non-farm. So it depends. If you want to trade low time frames and you're scalping with a stop, look for stop hunts of liquidity runs of highs and lows, basically, ahead of non-farm. But the likelihood is they're just going to bring it back into Asian range ahead of non-farm payroll. So Sam just joined the live. What's up, everybody? Any good trades I can join now? Yep, plenty. Have a watch of the replay. This isn't going to be a long stream, so have a watch of the replay. But I've set up for getting into pound New Zealand short. I've just got into pound New Zealand short, actually. EA's triggered. Aussie dollar CAD long. Euro Swiss I'm short. And Euro New Zealand I'm short at the moment. Right. So that's all I've got for today. Anybody got any other questions? Anybody got anything else they want to cover? Ask anything in particular whatsoever? We'll have a quick look at US dollar index as well. We've just broken out of that little triangle I drew, look, already. So they're bringing the US dollar index down at the moment in London. Weak US dollar. We should be hopefully seeing an S&P. Oh no, S&P is coming down as well. Interesting. So for S&P and that today, we'll obviously cover this a bit later on before the New York session. Obviously, we've had the big, strong move down on the NAS, and we put the doji in. Today, we are pushing down at the moment. So I'll be looking to get into additional positions down here at these lows. With a view to non-farm getting up there. So if non-farm, if they can pull the NAS and the S&P down to these lows prior to non-farm and hit ADR, hopefully we'll get that big push. We've got, we are very extended at the moment. Obviously, we do get more extended, but not a lot more, than the 72. So. We could have a bit of more of a push down here, which is absolutely fine by me. And obviously S&P, we've still got room down to the 72 as well. So, but we did have a nice doji accumulation put in yesterday. So if we have a fake out today, i.e. they drop down today, so watch the S&P and the NAS today if you're in it. If they drop down today in London and then pull it back up into midline, I suspect we are looking for a push today. Bitcoin bottom. Don't trade crypto. Bitcoin is completely manufactured, so I have no idea. It could do anything. I can have a look at it. I hold Bitcoin, but I don't trade it. Crypto 2. Where's Crypto 1? There we are. Bitcoin. Who knows where the bottom is on Bitcoin? Most people were saying Bitcoin was going to be bottom on 200 moving average. They were wrong. Don't know. Support, resistance. It's an instrument like any other. You treat it the same way as any other instrument. It operates on support and resistance principles. So here is a very high probability bounce point. Yeah. Nice gaps to the upside. So yeah, good opportunity for longs on Bitcoin potentially. But as I say, I don't trade it. If somebody can issue a tweet, yeah, like Elon Musk, and completely crash this thing, I'm not interested. It's got no economics behind it. Yeah. it's just not something I can trade. It moves a lot. Everyone loves it, crypto, because it's, you can make an absolute fortune on it. But I know way more people who have lost all their money on crypto than anybody that's actually made it. So whereas Forex and indices, I know a lot of people that make a lot of money and make a living out of it. So I can't really trade the thing because I don't understand it fully. And if you don't understand an instrument fully and how it works and what drives it, you shouldn't be trading it, basically. That's my opinion anyway. So yeah, beautiful spot for a bounce. So yeah, long Bitcoin, I would. But I don't, so I'm not going to. Anyway, have a look at pound US dollar. So pound US dollar, we've just broken out of the 72 on this one. We've tapped into the 200. So from a COP perspective, US dollar is, the pound is a short, US dollar is a long. So I would be looking for pound US dollar shorts. 200 moving average is obviously highly respected a lot of the time. It's one of those indicators that is self-fulfilling a lot of the time. It's not accurate. You don't bounce to the pip off of it like anything, but it is an area where swings tend to react, and we do get reactions at it. We've just had a reaction at it, but we didn't get any follow through. So at the moment, the market is sitting there going, we're not quite sure which direction we want to go in. But from a futures perspective, we are short pound, long US dollar. So I would be looking more for shorts than longs on it. Obviously, you can see you put any oscillator on the chart if you want to, but when you get high on oscillators, price tends to either pull back or reverse. We are high. So it's a good opportunity for shorts, I think, at the moment. Anything you enter today is a coin flip because it's non-farm payroll day. Yeah, and non-farm payroll is either a massive spike manipulation where they take everybody's stops, or it is the start of the next trend move. Yeah, one or the other. You don't know which. No one knows which. So any trades you take today, this afternoon, are going to play out one way or the other, because the market is going to move to such an extent this afternoon that you'll either hit your TP or your stop, or if you're a position trader, you'll either go into drawdown or you'll exit the position. So I would be looking much more for shorts on it than longs. If you look at it on the 4-hour chart, we just had a reversal alert when we're retesting at the moment. So this is obviously the reversal alert, new market structure potentially forming. And this area here is the retest area, which we're in. So as soon as we close back down below this level, good indication to come short. We've got gap targets to the downside, although they have been tested a little. This one has been filled. That's not quite. It's just obviously a pip out. And we are in a massive sell zone at the moment on the 4-hour chart. So we had this big strong move here. So we had this accumulation phase and then collapse, which created this big selling area here. We tapped into it and rejected it. This is the first retracement back into it since we initially rejected. So it looks really good for shorts to me. We have just tapped over here though. So if we get the 24.72 cross, we could be going to uptrend. Who knows? Nobody knows. This is the whole point. Yeah, we don't know which way the market's going. You have to look at it, put all the pieces together and go, logically, it's more likely to do this. Whether it does or not, nobody knows. We've just taken out lows today, so just stop running the Asian lows. We're probably today, more than likely today, we'll just kind of do this, or potentially tap up into there. But yeah, shorts for me anyway. Hourly, we've had a reversal alert and a retest, but we've just gone into consolidation. So depends what sort of time frames you're trading, but from a higher time frame perspective, I'd certainly be looking for shorts on it. But it's not extended for me. I don't get into anything unless it's extended. That's where I'd have got in. I'd be out by now. Thanks for the stream this morning. We'll try and look in around non-farm payroll later, but at work this afternoon. No problem. Right, so this afternoon, I'm going to move the stream forward. We'll be on, what's the time? 1:30 non-farm, isn't it? So I will start the stream at 1:15 this afternoon. Okay, so if you're not already, if you haven't hit that bell indicator yet, hit the bell indicator so you get a notification of when the stream's going live. I will put it out obviously in Facebook and in Telegram, so if you're in those you'll know. But yeah, I'm going to go out early today at 1:15 because obviously you want to be online for non-farm payroll so we can see what happens. So yeah, just bear in mind today you will, with a lot of pairs, you will likely get chop. We don't know, but I mean the run up to non-farm payroll is one of two things. More often than not, it's fairly flat. But sometimes they will do some big strong moves to reach for levels. So if you see the market reaching for a level, for example, pound US dollar, if today the pound US dollar jumps up to there and then we get some kind of bearish price action from that before non-farm payroll, likelihood is they were just reaching up there for liquidity so they can run with it. So the market will give you clues as to what's going to happen in non-farm payroll. But at the end of the day, nobody knows. It's a manipulation event. So whether it's a positive or negative has got nothing to do with the price movement. So we'll see this afternoon. But just bear in mind today, you quite possibly will be watching paint dry. So don't get too excited. Okay, so if there's nothing else today, guys, I'm going to cut it short there. And we'll be back on at 1:15 this afternoon, UK time, ahead of non-farm payroll. So if you've got any questions or anything, head into the Telegram group and you can ask away in there. Anything you want to cover, obviously, we can do that in the Telegram group as well. But other than that, hopefully have a good morning. And I will see you for non-farm at 1:15.